SCP Secret Laboratory is a survival horror first-person multiplayer game. It is made by Northwood Studios based on the 2012 horror game SCP Containment Breach. It sets you in the perspective of multiple different roles in the game, such as D-Boys, short for Class D personnel, scientists, aka the nerds, MTF, the KOSers, Chaos Insurgency, the Green Boys, and the SCPs, the monstrous anomalies that will hunt you down. Being these roles are completely random, so you have no idea what you are going to get. MTF and facility guards and scientists work together to help scientists escape to become MTF lieutenants. D-Class and Chaos work together to help D-Class escape to become Chaos. And SCPs are just kinda there to kill everyone.
Also, fun fact about the SCPs, when they see you, they will kill you immediately, so you should really run away from them.
The game offers a bunch of cool and different kinds of playstyles, which is why, personally, it is my most favorite multiplayer game to date. You can approach situations pretty much any way you want depending on what server you join, and it's that I can do anything feeling that really puts the cherry on top for me. You can swarm enemies with the crazy amount of weapons the game limits you to. You can hide from them and maneuver yourself to evade them. Hell, you can even just throw grenades at people and call that a win for yourself, even if you die with them. The chaotic freedom you have in this game is great. The game also offers you a chance to win from communication, so I suggest you also have a microphone while playing this game. It's just known fact. A lot of the chaos is dependent on the server you play on, which are mainly all community hosted, the people you go up against and play with, the different kinds of rules, and the different types of moderation. You should definitely read into the server info of a specific server into understanding their rules so you don't get banned. We all want to have a fun time here. It is kind of relatable to Gary's mod Dark RP, but with less kids, I guess. I don't really know. There are 4 separate floors or levels to the SCP Secret Laboratory map. Light Containment Zone, where SCP-173, Scientists, and D-Class spawn. Heavy Containment Zone, where SCP-096 spawns, SCP-106 spawns, SCP-049 spawns, and where SCP-939 spawns, and where SCP-079 spawns. Entrance Zone, which is where the Facility Guards spawn, aka the most useless class in the fucking game. And Surface Zone, where MTF and Chaos spawn, depending on the spawn tickets. He got killed anyways. He got killed anyways. There are 3 different zones that are randomly generated to 5 different layouts. Light Containment Zone, Heavy Containment Zone, and Entrance Zone. Surface Zone doesn't change, so it doesn't fall under this category. If you are smart enough to memorize all of the different layouts for all 3 zones, be my guest. In this game, you need a crap ton of navigational skills in order to survive, and it's great to memorize these in order to know where you are. If you get lost, you can use your sick and, cool navigation skills to, lead your friends to victory. However, becoming an SCP gives you a totally different goal than the people trying to escape, and it is to kill every single human you see. Depending on the server though, Chaos and SCPs can team so they can win easier, but just because you are allowed to team with them doesn't mean that you aren't allowed to kill them, you know? Wink, wink, wink. So, let's go over some of the SCPs in the game. There is SCP-173, who spawns in light containment in his own little room up a spiral staircase. SCP-173 has around 3000 HP and moves quick when you aren't looking at him, but freezes when you stare at him. If you blink, which this game has an automatic blink feature just to remind you, he jumps to the position they are looking at whenever you blink if you are staring at them. My suggestion, never look away from this boy. He likes to tug your neck really hard. SCP-096 is considered the best SCP in the game and spawns in heavy containment. At the time of writing this, SCP-096 has 300 AHP, artificial health, and 500 HP, but will most definitely be changed in the future after this video is uploaded. If you looked at SCP-096's face, he will begin to enter an enraged state, and him screaming basically means you or someone else fucked up royally. When he enters this enraged state, it takes about 6 seconds for him to wind up to come and chase you or the person who looked at his face. He runs about 3 times faster than you and can jump 4 times higher than you. You will never be able to escape 096 unless there is an elevator near you or you are lucky enough to dodge his swinging attacks. Dodging his swinging attacks, however, is completely random and it is totally up to you. SCP-106 spawns in heavy containment in a gigantic room with an elaborate layout. He can take the most amount of bullets with around 3000 to 4000 HP and can phase through doors, gates, and windows to eventually grab you. When you are grabbed by 106, you are teleported to something called the Pocket Dimension, where there is 8 hallways that you need to choose from. If you are lucky, you can escape his dimension and tell everyone which one is the exit, depending on the server, in which case it is randomized. Your health in the pocket dimension slowly drains and increases the longer you stay in there. He also deals 40 HP when he grabs you, so you need to have higher than 40 HP when he grabs you. Otherwise, you kind of just, die instantly. SCP-106 has 650 HP, but takes 2 HP per bullet, so it totals him up to around 3,000 to 4,000 HP.
I suck at math.
But the micro and frag grenades ignore the 3,000 to 4,000 HP he has and goes to his 650 HP. If a grenade is under you when you are 106, you better run or teleport using your powers to teleport. If not, you will die. Immediately. Instantly. You will blow up. Also, he has a teleport feature. I forgot to mention that. You can place down a teleportation snare and you can teleport to it anywhere on the map. You can also set it down anywhere on the map, so that's pretty cool. SCP-049 is also known as the Doctor, who spawns in heavy containment and has around 1,700 HP to 2,200 HP. 049 is the second slowest SCP in the game, right behind 106. When SCP-049 catches up to you, he will kill you instantly by clicking on you, and can turn you into a zombie, also known as SCP-049-2. The Doctor doesn't have a lot of health, but your zombies are a great use of a body shield, so you should try to get as many zombies as you can to basically maximize damage on your end and give yourself additional HP. He is also the third SCP in the game who can speak to humans using V, and if you are lucky enough, you can sometimes trick players into opening doors for you or luring them into places with you. SCP-939 is the second SCP that can talk to humans in-game, and they spawn in heavy containment. Reason I say they is because SCP-939 is the only SCP in the game who can spawn 2 different variations of each other. SCP-939-89 and SCP-939-53. They are also known as dogs, and the dogs can run at a human speed and needs to bite you twice in order to efficiently and effectively kill you. When they bite you, they deal 65 HP and give you the amnesia effect, which prevents you from reloading or opening your inventory. The dogs are also the only SCPs in the game who are blind, so if you hold C and walk, you will be able to escape their line of sight. This, however, is really good for juking, so I suggest you use this all the time when you are being chased by SCP-939. They can only see you if they run into you, if you run or walk without C, or you are too loud. SCP-079 is the final SCP in the game and is a computer that takes controls of cameras, doors, and Tesla gates. You can also speak to players using the speakers above doors. He's in intercom.
Bro, I keep trying to befriend the guys and they just keep shooting me.
Kill him, please kill him.
Dude, I am sprinting to intercom, dude. I am sprinting.
Yes! Yes!
Yes, we win!
SCP-079 can be the best SCP in games if the person who plays them is highly experienced, and can completely change the outcome of the game depending on who plays him. 079 can only kill people themselves using perfectly timed Tesla gate zaps, but that's kind of it. If you are traveling with an SCP, however, like an SCP-939 or an 049, you can lock doors on escaping victims, and a chasing SCP can kill them. Now, why should you get SCP Secret Laboratory? This game, in my opinion, changes your entire worldview on a multiplayer community. From my experiences, I have gained so much knowledge about coding, management, and about a video game in general. Because of how small the community is, it gives you great opportunities to meet new people and find a spot for yourself. It also gives you the opportunity to meet a crap ton of lovely people in the Northwood development team, which is amazing considering they are so easy to communicate with. Northwood really does care about the community, so they're not going to completely ignore you when you ask for something. I love this game because it is special, and it gives me that nostalgic feeling of watching Jacksepticeye or Markiplier play SCP again in my room when I was 8. We all watched them when they did that. We all watched when they played Containment Breach. If you say you haven't, you're a liar. It captures the perfect amount of intense situations and really encompasses your inner paranoia because of how dark or atmospheric the dark hallways can be. It also shows you how even a small development team like Northwood can really shine into making great video games. I can sort of compare their team to the Half-Life team back in 1997, when they were fairly small themselves but strived to make the perfect video game. And honestly, it may not be perfect, but god damn is it satisfying to wipe out full spawns of Chaos or MTF, so that's what really seals the deal for me. It also puts a heavy emphasis on teamwork and communication, and relies heavily on combat situations. It also gives you the free will to tackle any kind of combat situation you like, which is the chaotic freedom I mentioned back in the beginning. This game is great, and I really suggest you play it. Also, the zombies T-pose. 1,000,000 out of 10!
Swinging through the kingdom in the night. I only see you in the city light. I'm fresher than fresh. I step out the steps, I'm raw running for the flex. Pete told me I was next. I'm coming for next, it really isn't no question. Only superheroes in a section, only big bangers on the set list. On top of buildings where I eat breakfast, then I shine like a new necklace. I'm ready to go, she calling my phone, girl, I'm coming over. I got something to prove, I showed her the way.